That's right. We are here for another I'd Watch That. You're here. You're there. I'm here. That's how it has to be. You can't be here. This is a small room, and I don't want you to be near me. Thank you for tuning in. I think I'm calling this Series 2, Episode 1. I think that's the safest thing to do. This series, I'm only going to have people with internet connections that can do the job. And I don't know that for definite, but last time we had some issues, as you know. Dan did it twice. One time beautifully, one time he might as well have been at home in Kent trying to send his footage. This is I've Watched That. If you haven't seen I'd Watched That before, what happens is I've got a randomizer. I press a button, it makes a random film title out of the top 100 films on IMDb. It just puts two of the words together and makes a new film. I was going to say portmanteau, but it's not that. Then, with the help of a guest, we talk about that film as if it was a real film. It's a great idea. What a concept that is. And we'll talk about who's in it. You can ask questions. I want you to be involved because the more chat that you do, the easier it is for us. If you've got ideas, let us know what it is. If you think you agree with the guest, then just tell them that you agree with the guest. We're still learning, still very new. So, you know, this can be whatever we decide it wants to be. If you want to talk to us, talk to us. That'd be absolutely lovely. Lots of people in the chat already. Ryan's there. Raven Elf, hello. Hope you got my message earlier regarding the gig in Brighton that's moved. Gordy Glasgow was watching your early Bartians interview last night, Ash. Have you been hearing anything about Bartians' imminent resurrection? I have been hearing about it. I've not spoken to Gannon or Ashens or Barry or Eli or Ryan yet about any of it. So hopefully I'm going to be involved. Raven Elf, I didn't see any message. We'll take a look. It was on Twitter. So I'm going to bring on my guest. Now, this is someone that I know incredibly well. He made me burp. I know him incredibly well, too well. We record a podcast almost every single day. Please welcome. I hope he's unmuted his microphone. Please welcome. It's little Jussie Peanuts. Justin Panks, how you doing?
Oh, yes, I've unmuted my mic.
I knew you were going to do it, and yet I still...
But I did it so well, didn't I?
I still fell for it. Because, I have to say, it's an incredible microphone, and your picture quality is absolutely insanely good.
I ain't fucking about. Mate. But you tell me to bring it, I'm bringing the gigabytes.
But your mic is so good that it is silent when you are not talking. Like, there's no background noise.
No, there's no background noise.
And I knew you were going to pretend that you had not switched it on, yet...
I felt like my whole life was leading up to that moment.
But yet still, when you did it, I went for it.
Yeah. I was like, Eminem. That was it.
You only get one shot.
One shot.
And you did it. So you're not even saying words. I can tell you're not even saying words. I can't believe it.
I can't. If my brain thought words, my mouth would say words. So
would I'm doing
shapes. Yeah, I couldn't think a word and not say it. That's why I ended up doing what I do for a living.
Try it.
Fuck it. No, I can't. But there's no filter. So I just had... My mouth was throwing shapes like a raver. That's what it was doing.
Oh, God. Right, so I set a moderator to try and message people about the podcast, the Pranks and Firth podcast. I don't know what I've done wrong, but it isn't doing that. It is just saying I've set something wrong. So I'm sorry, everyone. But every time anyone that is a moderator on here, if you can go in and just take that out.
Can I just say, the screen that you've sent me to look at is a fucking shambles. Honestly, I can see you.
Yeah.
Smaller than a stamp.
Yeah.
Because I've got three big screens on my screen. There's three screens. I can see myself big. If you don't like that,
click on that.
You're tiny.
Click on the one with the... Click on the one that's all three of us. Me, you, and the screen.
Oh, you're slightly bigger. That's what I can see now. The whole thing. I can see your windows open at the top. I can see your tabs.
Can you?
Oh, Ash.
You can see my tabs.
Yes, I can see your... Well, brav. Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing. I'm not hiding anything. It's all clear. You can see all that, Justin.
Well, you quickly shut that one down, I see.
Yeah. I should say to the viewer that they didn't see that you were showing me some delicious art whilst we were... I don't think we can show it now. But a lot of pornography in your art, isn't there, that you've got around the house?
Oh, bash. Well, okay. Do you know the origin of the word pornography?
Of course I do.
In Latin, porne means prostitute and graphos means picture. So they're depictions of sex. And pornography has got one purpose. It is to titillate. Now, if something is gratuitously, if nudity or sexual activity is gratuitously to titillate, that is pornography. But it can have other reasons.
Because art cannot have a purpose.
It can be art. Art can't have a purpose, neither can pornography. That's why they're quite similar. Pornography can be artistic, and a car can be artistic, but a car is designed to be economic, aerodynamic, all these things. So if it's designed to keep the rain out and the engine's got to go there, then that cannot be art. It can be artistic, but it cannot be pure art.
Some of the things you showed me were just small winkles and stuff, though. So where does that?
I've met him. Yeah, that's an Italian performance artist called Franco B.
Probably isn't very functional.
What's that? A small penis?
That penis that you showed me. So that could be art.
What function are you talking about?
Oh, any function.
It's a flap of skin. I've met him. I was when I graduated. I was doing live performance art in London.
They wouldn't let you do the thing you wanted to do, would they?
What was that?
Didn't you want to like face plant into?
Oh no, that was my degree show. Yeah, so I met Franco B. He's an Italian performance artist, and he's got all tattoos of crosses, which is positives. They're meant to be positives. And he did one piece where he very rudimentarily stitched his mouth shut with big X's of twine. And I met him. Apparently, he stayed with a woman that was doing the thing I was in, and he was a perfect house guest, always washed up and was very tidy.
Yeah, I don't.
But his performance art was
very
him
quiet,
being naked.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, kept himself to himself. But
I don't think you should stitch your face shut.
Why?
As a comedian, bad.
He's not a comedian.
No, I know. I was just thinking you shouldn't. Raven Elf says you got me any keto. Great stuff. Shakes are shite though. Raven Elf's doing some keto shakes.
Oh, don't bother. Just eat bacon and eggs. Like all the things that's good about keto is like the thing about keto is all the. I don't know if this is. I don't know if who's listening and watching this.
You talk about whatever you want, mate, before we get into the show.
I know, but I feel there's no. I'm assuming that because it's you. I think it's Pranks and Firth, our podcast, and I think everyone knows. But there might be new people. But the thing about keto is cheese, meat, eggs. All these things are keto, and then I speak to people that are doing keto, and they go, "Oh, I've worked out a brilliant. I've just looked up a brilliant keto recipe for fairy cakes." And I'm like, why would you want to eat fairy cakes? Just eat the bacon and the eggs and the cheese.
No, people
don't worry about the shakes.
I do understand people need it. They
don't. They
need to replace. They need to replace.
Yeah, but they weren't eating the fairy cakes in the first place. If you'd have listened, people don't. I go, do you eat fairy cakes? Like, no, but now I do. Made out of coconut flour. I'm like, well, don't. Just eat meat and cheese and salami and spunks.
Yeah, all keto.
All keto.
TJ Channel 84, evening you beautiful buggers. That's the both of us, I believe. I presume, or it could be me and.
I don't know TJ 1329, whatever you said his name was.
You know everyone.
Do I?
Sam the King's in there as well.
Oh, Sammy the King. I've met him twice.
He says, "What about Japanese cartoons?"
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Sam. I met you 3 times. How did you get on with Tofu? How did that go?
Oh yeah, they were.
Do you remember
together.
just getting
drinking
up?
What are you drinking there?
What you got there? What's that? Is that for your spunks? Is that pineapple juice?
Yeah. Pineapple. Garden Soldiers, TJ Channel 84. He's changed his name. He sent you soldiers. He sent me a projector.
Oh my God! Thank you. I put them in my rockery.
I've unplugged my own headphones.
Yes,
you carry on.
Your big headphones. So I had I put the terracotta 4 soldiers in my rockery. Yeah, I'm in charge, and I went back. Then I got divorced, and I went back, and like everything like that just disappeared. And I said, "Where's?" I had a skull in my rockery, and these 4 terracotta soldiers. And I said, "Where's all my stuff?" And I'd drawn a face on a stone. I'd drawn a big, and she went, "Oh yeah, they're gone." I was like, "Oh, so I'm sorry, but I haven't. They've gone. What's that? What are you eating? That's not keto. What flavour
Bombay
is it?
Bad Boy.
Oh, to be fair, your palate's developing.
Did I get some on me? Yeah.
That's not that mean.
You want the new set? Let me know. I've still got loads. How many's he got?
Yeah, how many have you got? Yeah, send me some. What I'll do is I'll CT1 them to my brickweave because I haven't got a rockery anymore. I live in a city centre now. I used to live sort of a bit more in the rural sticks.
Why have you got so many, Tom? Why have you got so many of them? I love it.
He had a shop and he was selling them.
Oh, really?
My ex-mother-in-law went to view them. The actual ones is it Japan, I guess?
Parent shop. You did love those as well. That was the worst thing that happened when you split up from your wife, that you lost them.
Mm.
That was the thing that made you...
Yeah, it was. They were like my kids, Mum.
Yeah, they were like your kids.
I was hoping we'd do shared custody, but no, they're gone. Sent them away.
Well, maybe you can get some more from Tom's shop. I think, are they in St Albans? Give a shout out to the shop, for God's sake. Raven Elf, I have a rock with an eye on it and another with a mouth and a zip, if you want them, Panks. You got so much. Hang on, no one sends me anything anymore other than Tom.
What are you going to do with a rock with a zip on it? You? What do you mean a zip on it? A drawing of a zip on it? If that's a draw, I like that actually. I like the idea. I can see that in my mind's eye.
Because you're a comedian.
Oh, I'm your rock, like was it Paul Burrell?
It's a sculpted thing.
Like I'm a vault.
Paul Burrell. He wasn't a vault. He kept always talking about
rock. Diana said to me, "You are my rock."
And now I'm going to go on TV constantly.
And I'm going to go and tell everyone that, yeah, you know.
Every
aspect. I remember once
I
saw a pair of her knickers on the bathroom floor and there was something in them.
Is that what he said? There was a skit.
I'm just saying. I was giving an example of like divulging too much about someone. Where you, hey, have you heard of the new one about Will Smith?
Yeah, I've heard the new one about Will Smith. Let's not get into it.
That's his rock. I was his best mate for 40 years. I see him hammering someone in a trailer. It's like, I don't think you're his best mate.
Yeah, I don't think you are. Because like some of the stuff you could say about me, and when you walked in on Sam didn't meet Tofu in the end. Tom says James of St Albans, all sorts of stuff, often described as an Aladdin's cave.
There is a shop near me called Aladdin's Cave, and it's a second-hand shop, and they sell loads of stuff. And I speak to the owner. I'm proper getting in. Oh, by the way, everyone. Hey guys, I'm really getting into the. I'm really infiltrating the cult. I now know the names of the people. I'm starting to. What are you doing with your hands?
Oh, I've gone out of focus. That was all. It's not naturally focused.
Well, now you put me out of focus. You know I've got ADHD. You can't just do a Hitler salute at me. That flashback. Just start. But I'm now starting to know people's names, and I was speaking to the Scottish geezer on Magdalen Street that owns Aladdin's Cave, and he had this massive eagle in a box.
Big massive.
That's a tautology. It had a huge eagle, stuffed eagle in a box.
Big massive huge eagle.
Big massive huge eagle, bird of prey bird. And I said, I like that. And he goes, "Aye, you're down by the craddock." He goes, "No, that was in my. Apparently, that was in his school."
Was it a real stuffed bird?
Yeah, it's huge, man. I don't know what sort of eagle it is. It's really fucking big. Like,
what was it in?
You.
What was it in?
Like a big glass case.
Do you think it just? Do you reckon it flew in there and then died of lack of oxygen?
Well, I don't know, because there's all like bracken and moss and twigs and in there.
That's how they got it in there, mate. That's how they tricked it in.
It's like a little scene. And he goes, "Oh, when I was growing up at this school," he goes, "that was in the science class." I don't know if this is true now I'm saying it. And he goes, "No, we used to look at it, and then I saw it for sale and I bought it." And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know." Anyway, I just sort of like took it at face value.
What's not believable about there was a thing I wanted, then I saw it and I bought it.
What's not believable about, I went to school in Scotland, used to look at this bird in a box in Scotland, own a junk shop in Norwich, and then bought it. I don't know, there's a big missing link that how would you know it was for sale? Why did it go from Scotland to Norwich? Maybe you told me and I couldn't remember.
If you could buy one thing from school, what would it be?
Oh, great question. From my school. What, middle school or upper school?
I don't care.
What would I buy from school? My science teacher, Mr. Jolly, used to wear those funny little quilted shoes that were called pod. Do you know those teachers had those quilted shoes?
Yeah, why?
I've never seen them since.
I think they're on their feet all day.
You know how Eastern Europeans they always have puffer jackets? The toe area was a puffer jacket.
Yeah,
it was a puffer shoe.
I know what you mean.
I'd have bought my science teacher's puffer shoes just because I've never seen them in the wild.
Is he the guy you made fall over by using your mind?
No, that was the deputy head, Mr. Bancroft. Mr. Jolly, did you have a teacher at your school with a beard and everyone said, oh, he had to grow the beard because he's got a tattoo of a swastika on his chin?
I had a teacher called Mr. Bancroft who had a beard.
No way, was he bald?
Yeah, he had hair on the. He had hair on the sides.
Yeah, old school bald. Old school bald meant you had a fucking. They didn't shave back then.
He was science and.
That was him. That was him.
I think he also did geography. But he was from Norwich area.
Did he have dark hair?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think I school in Norwich area.
Oh no, he wasn't really from the Norwich area at all. I think it can't be the same guy because I think he taught my brother, and my brother's like the year below you, I think, or above you.
Well, I don't. Honestly, being old doesn't bother me. Stop bringing it up. I don't care. I'm not bothered about it.
I'm just saying my brother is slightly older than you.
Yeah, I don't care how old I am. It doesn't matter. What, you invented a flux capacitor? You're never going to age. What's difference? What's difference? I've been your age, mate. Don't worry about that. Ages ago. God, been there, done that.
You're the person I catch up the most.
This
is like a live Prags and Firth. I'm more into it than the film thing. Fuck off, Ravenelf. The film thing's coming. You've got to deal with it.
Oh shit! Yes, this isn't pranks. I can't. If I talk to you, I'm just doing what we do. This is what we do.
Well, let's get the film randomizer going, shall we? I'll press the button that starts it up.
Go on then.
There it is. It's there. There should be a big but there isn't. I'll also, if anyone follows or subscribes or anything, I got my daughter to do some voiceover work this afternoon. So if you're not following, follow. And you might hear her talk. Or Sam will probably unfollow and follow. I don't know if it still works to do that. So, Justin, there'll be people watching this that didn't see the last time that you were on. I'll just tell the audience very quickly again about the show. So we're going to press a button on here and it's going to randomly make a new film using words from the top 100 films in IMDb. We're going to talk about those films. First time I ever did this was on stage, and the film that it made was called Arse Blood. The arse from Kick-Ass, the blood from First Blood. And that was it. I knew that it was a winning concept from that moment on. So,
it could have been First Arse, which would have been Sam the King's fucking...
There you go.
I thought she... Yeah, I got it.
You thought she'd crept up behind you.
I thought I had a flashback to Shropshire when I was in the middle of a filthy bit and a toddler just walked across the front of the stage.
Yeah, that was awful. And then a woman walked in and went, "This is disgusting. You shouldn't be talking like that in front of kids." And you went, "Your kids shouldn't be in here. Shouldn't have been in there." Awful.
That happened last night. I did a rugby. I don't know. Sorry to just derail the fucking.
No. Come on.
I did a gig in a rugby club last night, and the opening act filmed his set, and a woman came in the green room in the first break and went, "Who was filming that? Who was filming that? My son was in there in his school uniform." It's like, well, he shouldn't have been in there
on a Saturday. Was he some sort of dweeb?
Saturday in his school uniform. And I go, "What? Did you just get him from school?" She went, "It was a rugby club." She goes, "Oh no, he's the ball boy today. So we just put him in a school uniform because, we're going to wash it anyway before Monday."
What?
And I was like, "Yeah, hang on a minute. You're trying to come in here like a hero parent. You're a shitbag. Fuck off."
Yeah, your kid shouldn't be in here. A rugby club.
Yeah.
Ravenelf says a rugby club isn't a place for a kid. That's true. Totally agree.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I do agree with that now. My 14-year-old's lost his teeth.
Oh, that was bad. Poor lad's knocked all
As I told you, they're gone.
What's he got there now?
The dentist. They're still in there, but they're going to die, so I've got to take them to Turkey. I'm thinking, because, I've got like good hair for me. I'm thinking about getting my hair filled in, my forehead filled in.
Yeah, just so that in case it does.
No, just to wind bald people up. Just like, oh, I've got like, too much hair. It goes all the way from my eyes to my neck.
To your ball bag.
Blanket coverage, as we say.
What's your relationship with films? Now, I know on the podcast that we do, Practice and Firth podcast, every Monday, and if you want to be a patron, every Wednesday and Friday as well. You watch films and you often tell me how shit they are.
Yeah, I watched one the other day called The Killer.
Oh, what's that like? I've seen it.
You've watched it?
No, I've seen the trailer. Sorry, I've seen the... Is it bad?
I don't know. No, I didn't. I don't know. It's this... Nolan, what's his name? The bloke who did Fight Club. Is it Chris Nolan?
No. It's Fincher.
Michael Nolan. Oh, who's Chris Nolan then?
He did Batman and Inception.
Oh, him. It's dark. It's a very dark film, and I don't mean dark as in subject matter. There's a scene 2/3 in where he has a fight. For the only action scene, he has this big, over the top, and it's in the dark. It's like, it might be Fincher. I was like, why is it so dark? Like, honestly, you sort of like squinting and there's two blokes fighting and you sort of can't really see what's going on. But it's more of a monologue of like this bloke's a serial hitman, not a serial killer. I guess is a hitman a serial killer or not?
Yeah. It is.
No, but there's a difference, isn't there? Serial killer and a killing spree. It's time frame, isn't it? They say, oh, if you kill 3 people in a day, it's a spree. If you kill 3 people over a week, you're a serial killer. Is there something?
Okay.
I don't know. There's a distinction. But he's a hitman, and it's a lot of it's anyway. I won't spoil what happens because you could. Don't bother watching it. But
I won't spoil what happens because don't bother watching it.
Yeah, I was going to say I won't spoil what happens, but if you watch it, you'll spoil it. Watching it is a bigger spoiler than knowing what happens and not watching it. But I thought it was pretty shit. But I thought it was going to be good, and then it's one of them films that you think is going to be good, and then it ends, and you go, "Oh,
it's so
it's like an anti-joke." You know, there's anti-jokes where people tell those long jokes, like the Norm's moth joke.
Yeah,
it was that. There's a lot of films that are like that, isn't there?
It left you just hanging.
Jimmy, go, "Oh, this is what I did." That with something else as well. I watched something else the other week, and I was like, "Oh my god!" That's Under Silver Lake. I was like, "Oh my god, this is." And then it ends. You're like, "Oh fuck, you got me." That was the moth joke. You had me hooked in, and then it just ends. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't enough content for it to have that sort of pragmatic ending. That's kind of like could go either way. But it kind of leads you to think that it's all building towards something. You can have an anti-climax if the journey's fun, but if the journey just feels like that slow bit going up a roller coaster, and then you don't get the whee.
You just level off, and then
imagine being a roller coaster that went ooh, all right, everyone off. And then you get off.
It's a ski lift. The roller coaster goes
down,
you've got there is a ski lift.
Then everyone gets on it. Yeah, it's a ski lift. It's a ski lift for a snow ski slope. That's exactly what it is. Well done.
But there is no coming back down the other side. I'm raving if I know the Nightbot is fucked. I don't know how to change it. So that's it. Right, Justin, are you ready for your first made-up film? There's a
What's Nightbot?
Oh, it's this thing that I put so it would tell everyone about the podcast, but it's not working.
Oh.
It would just drop in the chat every now and again. But all right, so let's do your first random film. Are you ready, Justin?
I feel like I didn't answer your question then, but I do. I have seen films.
You love film, don't you? You do love watching films, but
I like some of them.
You revel in bad films, though.
I don't mind a bad film, and I like formulaic films, which I guess is what this is.
This is going to be made of those.
Well, that's what we're going to make. We're Dreamweavers.
And also, you'll notice this little icon over here, the little horror tab. Oh, look, there's a little ghost.
It's a spooky ghost. Spooky ghost.
But we'll do some action ones first, and then we've talked for about half hour so far without doing the actual thing.
We have not.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, quick, whiz through it then.
It's like we're recording the podcast. Quick, let's whiz through it.
Quick.
Okay.
I've got about
6 minutes.
Well, that much left.
In terms of time. And
my egg timer.
Right, here we go. Here's your first film. Long Dragon. Long Dragon. So there's a lot of things that can come from that. There is kind of often kung fu films have got dragon in them, haven't they?
Yeah, that's the obvious one, which I thought first. I think we're in the same school of thought. First thought, that's what everyone's going to think.
Ditch it.
Yeah, I think Long Dragon is an animated film. I think it's Pixar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're going Disney, Pixar, the other one, DreamWorks, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think Long Dragon is an animated film about an adopted snake.
Oh, go on.
It doesn't know. Yeah, it doesn't know it's a snake.
Oh,
and so it's an ancient.
Does it think it's a dragon?
The snake's been adopted by dragons. Yeah, it's been adopted by dragons.
Oh,
and it's an anaconda. And he's like, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to get feet and wings and be able to breathe fire. And they're like, yeah, I'd be able to. And it's a film.
Is it an ugly duckling type film, or is it?
It's the ugly duckling, but instead of you never become the beautiful swan, but you learn to accept that you're an ugly duck. And that is what life is.
That's what it should be. That should be the story of the ugly duckling,
isn't it? What about them ugly cunts? I was at school with these ugly cunts, and we were singing the ugly duckling. Right? And I used to look at them and go, "Well, you. No, you're actually a fucking wrong 'un, mate. You ain't." I could look at my parents. Superior genetics, but Viking stock. And then you got like fucking Timothy Shoesmith, the kid that used to spit in his. Do you have the kid at school that spat in his crisp and no one would ask for a crisp?
No. What's going on
Timothy
at your
Shoesmith.
school?
He was known for spitting in his crisps. He'd open
his own crisps.
He'd open a bag of crisps, and then because I grew up with no one had no money, and it was always everyone was scrounging. And if someone had just said to him, "Do you know what? You're actually a snake," he'd have just had a nicer life. He weren't waiting for the wings. He weren't waiting for the fire breathing capabilities, the mythological, the sort of magical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Long dragon, and this snake.
So all the other dragons are magical.
Now don't tell him. He's the only one. And then at the end, he has this big revelation where he's trying to breathe fire. He's like, but his little forked tongue's coming out. Keep trying, Cecil. That's his name.
Cecil.
Keep trying. Yeah, Cecil the snake.
But what is he? Do they sort of highlight the things he is good at, or what? Because it's a Disney film.
No, he just gets really. I mean, I've gone quite literal with this one. He just gets really long.
Yeah.
Because it's an anaconda.
Yeah. Is it like we can't swallow a man whole, Cecil?
And I'll tell you what happens. St. George and then bloody evil colonialists turn up.
Mm-hmm.
And they come and start killing all the dragons. And Cecil's trying to join in. That's what it's about. It's about he's an marginalised... misunderstood.
Is he like played by like by the time he's an adult snake, are we talking big A-list actor doing the voice?
Yeah, The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
See, I thought it'd be a nerdy little voice rather than...
No, he's a big proud for an anaconda. This is the thing. For an anaconda, he's a good anaconda. He just ain't a dragon. We don't want to say that if you're this or if you're that, you're better than or other than or you're worse than. For what he is a big, proud ex-WWE roid head. He's a big... That's what he is.
But he's just
if
not...
he just said, accept you're not a dragon and everything's cool. And I just think it's about, self-identifying, Ash. I think it's about acceptance.
I love it.
I think it's a... Yeah, I mean, this is very on brand for Disney at the moment.
I love it. I genuinely love it.
Yeah. That's what Long Dragon is.
And so
at the beginning, a snake egg accidentally gets in a dragon's nest.
Yeah.
Like a cuckoo, but accidentally. And it's a bit of Home Alone at the beginning. There's some anacondas on a plane. That's Cecil.
Oh, the snakes on a plane.
We forgot Cecil. Yes, snakes on a plane. And they realise.
Does his family try and get him back?
They've left the egg back in, and the wet bandits come in and nick the egg.
No, that is Home Alone. That is Home Alone.
Yeah. The wet bandits sell the snake egg to some dragons. And it's basically about you don't have to fit in with your surroundings. You don't have to live up to anyone else's expectations. You are the Rock. You're a beautiful, big, strong anaconda. Yeah, you can't fly or breathe fire, but you're real and they're fictional. So just be what you are. What you are is authentic and real. Don't be these fictional things, these fictional visions of perfection.
How does he beat the Crusaders? Does he beat the Crusaders?
He hides like a coward, and then when it's all over, he comes out, just slithers under a rock like you would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
from a cyclist.
Oh no, I didn't. Oh, don't. Why have you brought that up? What? So earlier on, I was reversing off my drive, and a cyclist who was coming down the road.
It's against the highway code to reverse into a carriageway. How can
I get on the carriageway then?
You've got to reverse into your drive. Technically, that's true.
Oh.
I don't know if that is. I just thought, go on. I just want to set the wind out of your sails.
Well,
go on, carry on. So you reversed into a cyclist.
I reversed into the road. I went a little bit, and then he stopped. He slowed down and stopped. So
into the cyclist.
Yeah, so I then completed my reversal, and at that point he ducked his head down to look into my mirror, and sort of did this. Like, I'd thanked him, and he's like, and so I put my mirror down. And he's like, "There's a cyclist in the road." Then I said, "You let me out, for fuck's sake! Like, what's your problem? Like, you stopped. If you want to be on the road, you have to use it like a vehicle, like anyone else." So then my mother-in-law said, 50-year-olds are in Lycra, grow up, which I really wish I'd said. I really wish I'd said that. But then he then cycled up onto the path and started cycling down the path. So I then caught up with him, put the window down on the other side of the car and went, "Actually, you're not allowed on the path." Because
good for you.
Yeah, good for me. But then I thought about killing him for about 3 hours, and eventually the wanting to kill him sort of died off a little bit. And then I said,
"You've gone soft."
I said to my wife, I said, "Thing is, he let me out." And my wife went, "Oh, come on, just leave it now." And I hadn't said anything for 3 hours, but she could obviously tell.
Yeah,
that
she knew. Yeah. Stewing.
Yeah.
I was walking down the street the other day with my girlfriend, and we walked. Someone had put left one of them. You know, people have got them like Just Eat bikes, those massive wheels.
Yeah. Electric bike. I'd like
one of them in the middle of the path.
Never going to use it.
Yeah, so I was walking past one of them, and we're excuse me, like this behind us. And we turned round, and it was these fucking cunts all jogging in a high vis, the Norwich Roadrunner Society, right? And they proper shouted at us, like, "Excuse me," like, as if we was in the wrong. We were walking down the pavement, right? And my girlfriend, she went, "Fuck you," to this woman. She went, "Fuck you, get in the road." And this woman was jogging, she turned around, she went, "Fuck you!" And then, 50 joggers came past us. It was the same sort of thing. So you can't shout at us.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Right, Ash. This is not good. And I know this is live, but I've got to tell you the truth. I was 1% away from just sprinting after her, just kicking the fuck out of her trail leg to trip her up. Honestly, she was only a little woman. I was so angry.
Isn't it mad, though? What is it? Like, the guy, nothing happened with the cyclist, really, other than he's like, I was cycling down here. Like, he thought I was going to pull out, is what happened. He thought I was going to pull right out and harm him, but I didn't.
Cyclists are weird, though. And I've never had it before. That's why I brought it up as a parallel. People jogging in high-vis vests think they're like this supreme, like they think they're like elevated.
Yeah,
it's like we're all occupying the same space. Like you said, you are, whether you like it or not, you are in control of a vehicle on a carriageway. We are negotiating it. You're not a protected class. Why do you think you're sort of like? Your kind of like safety or your whatever trumps my... Anyway, this is...
No, but I feel a bit better. Thank you. I needed to air that.
That's good. No, see, I knew I could tell you did. And this is what I do.
The Real Kingdom says the Crusaders all use hooked nets to catch the dragons. The anaconda just slithers through the gaps, then kills and swallows a
that's
horse.
His thing. That's his thing. He can't breathe fire. He's not big and strong, but he can slither through the cracks and gaps and exist like a little parasite. That's his strength, like Ash.
I knew you were going to say that. He swallows a horse, scaring the Crusaders off. Now, the only thing I would say is this is a Disney film. I don't think he's killing and swallowing a horse. I think he will swallow some people.
Have you not seen Bambi?
Yeah, I think they're moving away from that to sort of just mother death.
But hang on. A modern Disney film, you could kill Bambi's dad because he's a bloody bloke with his masculinity. I think that's fair game.
Tom or TJ Channel 84 has said driving. This is going back to the driving thing, but I think Tom needs to air this as well. Driving the other day, and a Lycra warrior was drinking his coffee while he was riding. Swayed into the middle of the road, so I beeped him after pushing my brakes on. Bit of a weird way of saying that, Tom. After pushing my brakes on. He had the nerve to stop, try and swing for the car. I honestly was a few seconds off ramming the arsehole. I think he means with his vehicle. Although in Lycra you could.
Rough.
That's mad that he went into the road and then got angry that you were like, bib, you've got to be out bib people. If you want to be on a bike in the road, you've got to be prepared to be bibbed.
The thing I've realised about cyclists is they want it both ways. When I'm a pedestrian and I walk in the road and there's a cyclist coming, they're like, oh, what are you doing? I'm on a bike, get out of my way. Because like they think they're the ones with momentum.
Yeah.
You know, that they're going faster and they've got this machine. They're in control of the machine. But when I'm in a car, which is one up from a bike, it's all like, hey, what are you driving? Look out, I'm on a bike.
I'm just a bike. I'm just a bike.
It's like, well, I was just a pedestrian when someone dressed exactly like you called me a cunt yesterday. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. We're all just the same. And this is the lesson that can be learnt from Long Dragon. You might be a snake. You might be a dragon. We've all got our place and we've all got to get along harmoniously.
I love it. I genuinely think it's a great idea for a great pitch. Raven Elf, I think this is valid as well. It should be allowed to hit people in some circumstances as a teaching moment. Fair play.
I think, yes. And you know what? You kind of are. Because if you hit, as I was brought up to believe, and as I thought it used to be, if you did twat someone, it would go to court, and you get to, well, you all get to say your side of it. Why did what happen? And you have your day in court. Obviously, with cancel culture, this is the thing about cancel culture. Whether you think, oh, people aren't being cancelled, the point is, if anyone's suffering in any way with no trial, that's what I think cancel culture is. Yep. So people go, oh, I see a thing on, I don't want to get into this particularly, but I saw the other day, it was like, oh, 3 more women have come forward to the BBC about Russell Brand. Just like, why are you going to the BBC? Yeah. Shouldn't you go to the police? And I'm not saying he hasn't done anything wrong. I'm not excusing him, but I'm saying now it's become like, yeah, why would you go to that? That's like, oh, this is so. You should be allowed to twat. You are allowed to twat someone if it's for a good reason, but you have to go to court and prove it. You can't just not go to court. You got to go through all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good.
What happened with your mic there? Just hit you in the face?
I pushed it up. No, I just pushed it up.
Right, are you ready to see the potential movie posters for this film?
No. Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah. Yes, and.
So here we go. There are the 4 options of Disney's The Long Dragon.
I don't want no humans in it. I've got to go bottom left. I don't want one human in it.
He's not a dragon. He's not a dragon. That's the only problem.
Or she. No, that's the point. But it's basically the Jungle Book. No, not the Jungle Book. There must be something where something thinks it's something and finds out it isn't.
That could be a snake. That could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, which one? Which one are you happy with? We can. Do you like?
Do you know what? I've just changed. Can I change the plot slightly?
Yeah.
They find an orphan human boy, and the anaconda and the boy have an affinity because they're not dragons. And I think top left now. Yeah, but The anaconda. I tell you what, the anaconda. Maybe a dragon gets its tail bit off, and the anaconda, the snake, acts as its tail.
Oh, that's a nice little scene.
Yeah.
That's
Human riding it, and the snake bites the dragon's ass, and all of a sudden now we can counterbalance and fly better, and it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Right. So this has just updated that a little bit. This is using some sort of AI, as you can imagine. It's a bit blurry at the moment, but it'll be all right in about 8 seconds. One of them, that bottom one is very...
I think bottom left. Do you think that? I think bottom left, because the tail looks like a snake.
Yeah, it's good. There you go.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think a massive success with Long Dragon. That one's getting made. There's no question about it. Are you ready for your next film?
Yeah.
Do you want a horror, or do you want to carry on with the action? You tell me.
Go horror. I'm quite dark, actually. I think horror. The only thing I worry about with horror is my mind. I might say something that will reveal too much about me.
Here we go. Here's your horror film. I like this little ghost. I've forgotten what his name is.
Need suspense.
Oh, that's a real one, so we're not going to do that. Army of In London.
Army of In London?
Yeah.
Well, this is Chinese. This is lost in translation. It's like Donkey Kong, isn't it? It's obviously not Army of In London.
No. What should it be?
Well, could we double N?
Lovely.
Like a pub.
Yeah.
Army of In London.
Yeah.
So this is a sequel to Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, but are you saying a China? Oh, is it an actual sequel of Shaun of the Dead, or is it?
No. It's either Chinese with the single N, or if it's double N, it's Army of In, and it's a sequel. It's not a sequel. It's a reboot of Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, they're going again with Shaun of the Dead.
When they're in the is it the Winchester?
Yeah.
Not the Winchester.
Yeah,
what's
the
it called?
Winchester, yeah.
Is it the Winchester?
Yeah.
Where they're in, but it's now from the perspective of the zombies attacking because they're the Army of the Inn. You see, in London, and now it's from the perspective of the zombies and how they have like funny little conversations and sort of like try to plan to get. Yeah, that's what this is. This is Shaun of the Dead, but from the opposing side.
The zombies version of Shaun of the Dead.
This is the Shaun of the Dead from the zombies' perspective. And when they're
Do we ever find out what caused
Shaun
of the Dead zombie outbreak? Do we know what it was?
It was in the film,
I don't remember.
it was. Well, it was a zombie outbreak, wasn't it? But this is like, it'd be funny to hear zombies talk, but sort of like, and they've got like maps and little corgi cars, and they're sort of like how people do bank jobs. Used to do bank jobs in 70s films.
So
we're going on, we just like walk up to the windows and go. What are we going to do? Just keep going.
So they're much more sentient than.
Yeah, the ones in control are the elites, aren't they? You're the Illuminati of the zombie world.
Oh, there's another meaning to this one, isn't there?
Of course there is, Ash. Of course there is. Because you've got Operation Mockingbird. Do you know about Operation Mockingbird?
No, I'd love to know.
Well, Operation Mockingbird was in the 1970s. The 70s. The CIA decided that they were going to. People are going, oh, fuck. But the CIA decided that they were going to use media as an arm of propaganda. And then in the, in the 1996 Communications Act, where they sort of like said,
what clause?
Where you're now allowed, where they sort of like said you can't have a monopoly on media, and then in 1996 they said yeah you can now, and that's when like Murdoch just started buying up everything.
Oh.
So the two things aren't unrelated. So what's going on in the Winchester is real humanity. It's real relationships. It's real individuals that are living their lives and they don't know what they're doing. And then there's the Army of N, London, is about the Operation Mockingbird and the kind of like mass state-sanctioned version of the truth that they just keep pushing at you wave after wave, just trying to infiltrate. That is what that is.
So is it that the main part of it is the Winchester attack, the Winchester zombie attack?
Have you ever seen a zombie film where, from the point of view of the zombies?
I never have. I'm up for this.
I think that'd be interesting. I think that'd be totally interesting.
I like the idea.
You could have you could focus on one zombie, couldn't you?
What,
like at the beginning, you could do like a thing where you think it's the hero, it's a human, it gets attacked by a zombie. Then he becomes a bit like American Werewolf in London, actually.
Yeah.
Then you follow the rest of the film as this zombie, and it's just this mindless.
Is he a mindless one? He's not one of the leaders.
No, he's mindless, like us. He's just one of the mindless sheep.
Well, like,
do you know what I mean?
And then Nick Frost at the end of the film, he is a mindless zombie, but there's still a light behind the eyes.
But they've sort of like trapped him and they've chained him up and he's part of the human team. But I'm talking like proper zombie from the point of view of a zombie. Yeah, like totally different. That'd be interesting. A zombie film from the point of the zombies would be interesting because we all think when we watch the zombie films, we identify and we empathise with the non-zombie people.
Yeah.
Look at the world around us. I think more of us are zombies than not zombies.
Yeah,
we're all zombies.
Phones. I'll just look for my phone. Don't know where it is.
All on our phones. Yeah. I was on my phone today.
Bell. Well done.
Looking at my short little women in their bikinis, listening to hip hop.
The Real Kingdom. Pretty sure this is already a real, actual movie. Well, if you could provide us with details of that movie,
is it?
No, it can't be. I've not heard of anything like it. TJ, Channel 84, focus on the one...
Did someone just say the guy on the right looks like a hawk? Is that me?
Yeah. Well, I think it must be a podcast listener.
Who's that said that?
Skunkerbell.
If you did some Google imaging, you'd actually... Kestrel.
Ray Daly Writer says Army of the Dead. It's been done.
Oh,
Is Army of the Dead based from the... Is that
which just shows how good I am. That says Army of in London, which doesn't make any sense. I did my best with it. You fucking ingrates. And I've come up with something similar to an actual film with the word army.
From the zombie point of view?
I don't know. I haven't seen every film ever made.
I was asking the chat. I was asking the chat.
Yeah, I know, Ash. But I'm addressing them as well. I don't know.
I've never seen that. Army of the Dead. Focus on one human who pretends to be a zombie to stay alive. He then ends up just sticking with them as he prefers how life is with them. That's quite nice. Justin's trying to find out more about the person who called him a hawk.
I've just seen the chat. It's so small. Because you've sent me the wrong screen.
Don't you worry about the chat. I'll read it.
Hang on. Now I'm getting paranoid. I do look a bit like a hawk. If anyone thinks I look like a hawk...
It's going to be a podcast listener who said... Because there was comments about you looking like an eagle a minute ago.
No, go back. Do you know my girlfriend's from the north, and I think she's with me because of Kez.
In the end, she's going to put you in a dustbin.
She's from Yorkshire. She's from Yorkshire. No, the film where he's got the little fucking eagle bird.
Yeah, but doesn't
the
bird die and it gets just chucked in a dustbin by his brother or something?
Well, this story's not over yet. I'm just saying this is the bit where she was like, "Oh God, yeah." I think northern people see kestrels as like we see fucking red rum or some thoroughbred racehorse or something. Yeah, it's aspirational.
True. Yeah, the only thing you could have more would be like a gerbil or whatever you call it. What's those things they call it? A ferret. Hello, Ray Daily Writer as well. Skunkerbell, is Ash streaming from his son's room again? This is my room. This is the office. This is the streaming. It's just got stuff in. Look at all that stuff. He wouldn't have any of that.
Childish shit.
Yeah.
I've got art books in my room. Hey, people, if you want to know the difference between me and Ash, I've got art books in my room.
I've got books of art. Comic books. These are all comic books.
Yeah, they're not. That's not.
Warm Bodies, a movie where Zombie learns to love again. Sounds a bit.
That's Jimmy Savile.
Sounds a bit saucy.
Cold Bodies.
Damn, you are correct. I thought I could stay in the shadows a bit. Oh, Skunkerbell is Yanis. Janice.
Is that how you call me a fucking hawk?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. In the Flesh is a TV show about a zombie getting used to life in the post-apocalypse. Yeah, but it's not quite as good. TJ Channel 84 says, "Fuck me, Kes was brutal. They didn't tell the child actor that the real Kes was alive and well during the dead bird scene. Those tears were real."
No, they are fucking
Hold on,
enough.
Ray Daly, strike that ash. I'm thinking of the wrong film. So maybe it hasn't been done. I love this as a film.
No, he didn't know it has been done. He said the wrong. I don't know.
I don't care if it has been done. What? Every film's got to be.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's been done. What do you think? Like fucking
Land of the Dead.
Like Bring It On ain't the same as fucking. Have you all seen Bring It On? Have you seen Bring It On? Oh, it's fucking great. So it's Bring It On ain't the same as like all films are the same basically. I couldn't think of another one, but they are all the same, aren't they? It's like
I think it's a really nice
rom-coms are all the
idea.
same.
I'm up for it. I'm really up for it. I don't really understand the title, but that you've done well with it because that is quite a difficult thing.
But
to
it made
work
no
with.
sense. I was like Army of In,
So
and I was
what is
thinking
that
Army.
from? Army of In. What would that actually be? I don't know what film that's
It's
from.
American Werewolf in London, isn't it? And
Oh, yeah. So it's Army of the Dead in, and yeah. So
Okay.
you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's probably There you go. Solve this. Right. Let's have a quick. I like that, and I would watch that. Which is the name of the show. I'd watch that.
I would watch it. It doesn't have to be zombies, but I think it'd be great to see a film from the point of view of.
Totally agree. I totally agree. I like.
Yeah.
Are you sticking with the fact
But
it's?
it can't be from the perspective of a character like Freddy Krueger. It's got to be like at the sort of like general nothingness of the mob. There's something in that. If it was no individual you're basing it on, I think that is sort of like quite subversive in what cinema is. To just be like not Jaws from the point of view as the shark, but the birds from the point of view of the bird. So there's not one bird you're focusing on, just the concept of the birds. And I think that's more what humanity feels like sometimes.
I think you're right. And are you sticking with the fact it's a Shaun of the Dead, sort of the
Well,
flip?
that was
Shaun
why
of the Dead?
I didn't know what to do with the title, so I changed
No. I
into
think that's
In.
good.
Yeah, I think that would be a good starting point.
Because people are going to watch
Maybe
it.
it starts then. Yeah, I think maybe it starts there, and then they win. The zombies take over, but it's from that point on rather than up to that point.
I love it. Great film. Great second film. You ready for your poster?
Yeah.
So I think these are all pretty good. I think that might
They
be
are,
Jeremy
aren't they?
Corbyn. I'm not sure, but this looks quite good because they could
Bring him up. He'd be an army. Oh, we don't
both of these look like they are the main characters, but they were also zombies, don't they? Like that's pretty good.
Yeah. I think. Can I
She's
say
hot,
what
to
I would
be
have?
fair,
The
she's hot.
poster would be a throng of zombies, and a bit like Hitman, just the back of one's head. I'd have all the zombies, but the back of their heads, and one's in the foreground, and it's just like from their point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's a
you can
good
see
idea
the
as well.
Winchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the pub in the distance, and you can just like as if you're stood in the crowd, just the back of zombies' heads.
Hold
I
on.
want to be this. When I watch zombies, have you ever seen Clockwork Orange?
I've never seen Clockwork Orange.
There's a bit where he's in the prison and he's reading the Bible, and the prison officer is tricking the prison. What do you call it? What's the main dude called? What's the main fucking
Yeah, like
person
a
in the prison
hospital.
called? No, not the fucking
administrator.
headmaster. You know the prison headmaster's called something, innit?
Yeah.
Governor, whatever. And what is that called? And he's going,
I think
yeah, he's
Governor.
good
I think
boys.
Governor's all right.
Yeah, say that. So he's going, I think his name's Alex or something, innit? And he's reading the Bible, and he's going, he's good boy. He's getting into because the warden, I think it might be, is
Warden's good as well.
is religious. But Alex, it goes up into his fantasy, and he's one of the Romans whipping Jesus.
Oh.
So he is reading the Bible and he's getting into it, but he's seeing himself as the other side.
That's interesting as well. Yeah.
And I think that's what this film is, to be the zombie, to be the mindless, hungry. We're all the very hungry caterpillar just eating up all our resources, aren't we? And it's just sort of like admit it and just go, let's have a film where we can just be the fucking mindless, insatiable, marauding mob. and let's just watch that instead of having to fight them off. That's boring. Done that.
Right. Do you want another horror, or do you want to go to another action film?
Let's go. Not horror and then horror. Let's alternate.
Okay, here we go. Here's your next film. Weapon Crusade. Weapon Crusade. So is that? It could be.
What is that from? The Last Crusade.
Weapon.
And weapon.
I don't know.
Would weapon be the first word of another film?
Yeah, it should be. But I can't think of a film that starts with weapon. It could. I mean, in theory, it could have picked up Lethal Weapon. I don't quite know the randomizer works. I had nothing.
Let's not worry about the original. I'm trying to think. Weapon Crusade.
Yeah, that's like a crusade.
I'll tell you why I know your machine works. These do all sound like the Chinese
or
versions
Korean.
of
or
whatever. Yeah, you know when they translate them into a very different language.
Yeah, I mean,
which hasn't got the same root language.
Weapon Crusade. Crusade is like spreading your word with force.
A crusade is a mission. It's a sort of like a singular, sort of like a weapon crusade. Weapon crusade. Weapon crusade.
Easy. Not easy. Weapon crusade.
No, that's not easy. Weapon crusade. I think it's got to be. Well, again, it's a film that's been done. Is it the Manhattan Project and the crusade to come up with the atomic bomb before Germany did? Is it that?
Is that what they did?
Is it about? Well, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oppenheimer was about that. Yeah. So was Weapon Crusade, where it's like more of a sort of like.
This feels like it could be. You know, when a big blockbuster comes out and earns like £8 billion, and very quickly there's.
And then they make another one. Yeah, like when they do The Day After Tomorrow and then Armageddon, or remember there was like.
Yeah.
And then they did the Meteor one, didn't they? They did what was those two?
Oh,
they did two. The Bruce Willis one, Deep Impact, and then was it Armageddon? And then they did Day After Tomorrow, and then you had Independence Day.
Yeah, there was loads. There's loads.
Yeah. So I think Weapon Crusade. I think Weapon Crusade is... Oh, I've got it. Weapon Crusade is a Mel Brooks spoof of Oppenheimer.
Nice.
Yeah. So Weapon Crusade is a joke. It's a joke spoof film with lots... It's a bit like Airplane, which was a spoof on... At the time, again, the zeitgeist was disaster movies. And Weapon Crusade is like Spaceballs. It's like High Anxiety. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It was a Hitchcock. Yeah, that was a Mel Brooks Hitchcock sort of like Hitchcock
Spatchcock
pastiche, spatchcock chicken pastiche, and Weapon Crusade is a funny film about
Mel Brooks
the Americans.
Must be 100 years old now. Is he?
No, it's a Mel Brooks-esque. I'm not saying it is Mel Brooks.
It can be. I'm not talking you out.
You know, Hot Shots. Hot Shots was a spoof on Rambo films. This is a spoof on the Oppenheimer kind of. And there's been another one recently as well. Like the kind of not recently, but the what was it called? You know, the Enigma machine.
Oh,
Bletchley Park. That sort of thing where it's all the kind of like historical, very pivotal period in time. Weapon Crusade is a very funny film full of silly jokes and puns about a load of idiots that are trying to keep up. The Germans in it are very clever. They're actual scientists. And they're miles ahead, and the Allies are buffoons, and they're sort of like completely clueless, and they're trying to, and they accidentally somehow manage it.
They get there first,
and I think they get there first.
I know that we do this at the end, but I do just want to very quickly show you the poster it come up with because I think it might be perfect.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And if he was alive, it would be that would. Is it? So, what's the bloke? I can't think of his fucking name now. The bloke out of Hot Shots. The old bloke looks a bit like Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, I think he's
Bridges.
Dead. Yeah. I think he's
Bridges.
dead.
That would be, wouldn't it? And can I say, historically, Weapon Crusade came out in 1992. It does not now.
Oh, it's before. Okay.
Can I place it? Yeah, I've got to place it in history. Because then I can cast it the way I want to.
Yeah.
But that's who would be in it. Whatever his name is, Bridges. Weapon Crusade is a joke, a bit like the Scream and the What was the Scream parody called? There's a big, the
Scary
massive
Movie.
one, wasn't it? Scary movie. Yeah, yeah. Weapon Crusade is that about these Oppenheimer type films.
I think it's excellent. You've done well.
Well, well, sometimes you've got to just.
I think I get the right guest. I think
You've got to parallel lateral think to make the title work. That is the idea of the show, I'm guessing.
It is great.
That was difficult.
I get good people on here because everyone I have on here surprises me. I love it. I genuinely do because that's perfect. Out of nowhere, Weapon Crusade.
Well, I think that would be called Weapon Crusade, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It's really good. I used to love... what was the Frankenstein one that he did? Was it Young Frankenstein?
Young Frankenstein, yeah.
Yeah, with Marty Feldman. God, I love Marty Feldman. I wonder if
and Gene Wilder, and I think it was Boyle, wasn't it?
Was it?
Is it Peter Boyle? Peter Boyle was the monster. Peter Boyle was in Taxi Driver, the wizard in Taxi Driver.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm just going to...
Yeah, he's Frankenstein's monster. I think. I don't know. I've got bad memory.
I don't know people's names. That's the problem. Right, let's just quickly do this because if this works...
What are the people saying in the chat about me looking like a bird?
It's a Marvel movie, got Wolverine in it. The Weapons X program that created him unleashes all the assorted supervillains it created in a massive crusade to kill him. That's a good idea for a Marvel film, to be fair.
Yeah.
You love Marvel, didn't you?
No, isn't the new one the biggest flop ever? Isn't it like
it's the lowest
woman in it?
Yeah, the lowest.
What was it, like the Marvel Women or something?
It's the Marvels. All right, are you ready to see the casting of Weapons Crusade? Marty Feldman as Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Oh, that's just me.
There he is. Look at Marty.
That's literally. Does anyone ever watch Gotham Chess? That looks like Levi.
God, look, there they all are. That's
oh God, that bottom left looks like that Irish bloke that was in Robin's Nest. Do you remember him? No. He was the waiter with one arm.
God, that's freaky though. That one, isn't it? That looks real.
Yeah, I like that. I don't really fuck with AI. Is it good? It looks sort of.
I mean, that's good, isn't it? That's Marty Feldman.
Is it? Have you got like a certain style? Like everything's the same style. Or is that just AI? Or is it like can you change this?
I can change.
Yeah, I was going to say they're all very oily painting-y, aren't they?
I mean, I can do lots of things, but I'm not really. I haven't put in the time and the effort to make it work properly. I'm not.
Oh, why would you?
I'm not weird. Okay, I love that. Weapons Crusade. I probably did watch it. It came out a long time ago. It came out in the 90s. I probably had it on DVD.
Yeah, we watched it. We watched it, and it was like back then when you go to the. Do you think this? Can I just go off on a bit of a tangent?
Yeah.
You used to go to your Blockbuster or your fucking independent video shop. You'd pick a film, rent it, take it home, and you didn't want to admit it was shit. But now on Netflix, I watch 10 seconds of a film and turn it off.
That's because you can. Look at that.
Yeah, but I rented and watched films and forced myself to enjoy them. I returned them and never thought about them again. And that was better. That was better that you just watched the film for what it was, said, oh, this is what I'm stuck with. A bit like my marriage. And you go get through it. And then you just get rid of it and never look back.
I think I used to try and convince myself that all films were great. Like I remember going to the cinema with my son, and we'd watch some absolute shit because it was something to do.
Did you do the hole in the popcorn bucket trick?
Not with my son. No, I never did that with him.
But put the popcorn on his lap.
I don't think it's meant to be on someone else's lap, is it? And I'd watch these films and I'd always try and justify it, like I had some input in it. But like,
I remember the worst film I ever read. I don't know. It was. Do you remember all right, anyone who's of a certain age renting a film and really regretting it. For me, it was Little Shop of Horrors. I didn't know what it was.
I watched it.
He's had a picture of a fucking Triffid on the front.
Yeah.
And it was like a camp musical, and I was at the exact wrong age. Oh God, I hated it. But I watched it because I'd rented it.
I remember getting Flash Gordon rented and thinking that was like I never wanted that video to go back.
Camp.
Yeah, it was incredibly good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I never wanted it to go back. Like,
Had a scantily clad woman, and that was like the Princess Leia. Yeah.
and
That mean the Merciless like captures them, and he did what Jabba the Hutt did: dresses her up how he wants to dress her up, and puts her on a lead. And you know, you're about 11, and I'm not saying that's good, but sort of good. No, but you watch it going, oh, I'm feeling things I don't. It was weird. No,
yeah, but all those films,
don't pretend. No,
we basically recorded them onto VHS off the telly whenever they went on TV. And do you remember trying to quickly stop the recording, like for the adverts?
The adverts.
Because you'd have the little thing up in the corner, wouldn't you? Up there, just.
I tell you that the films I watched the most, I had about 4 that I just fucking watched to death, man. First Blood. I love First Blood.
Yeah, same.
Like, I absolutely love First Blood. And I saw Sylvester Stallone the other day.
Oh, how is he?
The other day. He's down. He's down at the fish shop. No, I see he came up in shorts and he was talking, and he goes, "It was the worst film he'd ever made." Have you seen it?
Yeah. They had to edit it.
Cut out all his like. He said, "Just cut out everything I say." Apparently, he was doing all these piffy lines like McBain from The Simpsons.
He's like, "Where are you going?" He's like,
"Yeah,
I can't think." Well, turn around and see my ass.
And it was all stuff like that. So I love it. I love First Blood was one.
Isn't that amazing? Rollerball.
I watched that. Like, I've seen Rollerball, I reckon 70 times.
Really?
And I've seen Rollerball 70 times in 1 year, and I've never watched it before or after that. But I watched Rollerball about 70 times in 1986, and I've never watched it before or since. Do you know what I mean? 1 year. Rollerball, Blues Brothers I watched a lot.
God, Blues Brothers, yeah.
Mean Machine with Burt Reynolds.
But my other thing is, because we record them off the telly, my versions of these films, sometimes if I watch them now, I'll go, what's this bit? And it just wasn't shown. It was edited or was swearing.
It's funny you say that, because there's a bit where the... I don't think it's Telly Savalas, but it was a bald... I remember there was like one bald bloke in the world.
Yeah, you only had one of everything, weren't you?
Yeah, you were one of everything. So the bald guy was Telly Savalas, and there was a bald guy in that. He was like a karate guy, and he was like he was the psycho everyone was scared of. And he clotheslines in training Jaws. You know the guy from Jaws? Jaws from Moonraker. That big tall cunt. And it's like, I think I broke his freaking neck. Nose. Do you know what I mean? I think he and everyone goes, he broke my freaking nose. I think he broke his freaking nose. And when I watched it, I was like, oh, they said fucking. But it was just dubbed over. I didn't realise.
Yeah, they dubbed over. My favourite one is Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Get the hell out of here. I just love it. It's so badly done. Get the hell out of here.
Get out of here, mother hella.
It's just totally different voice. Yeah, I remember watching, I think it might be like one of the Star Wars films, and watching it just going, don't remember any of this. Like, there's a big section that was just always cut out. And Blues Brothers is another one. Just like chopped some twat. You know, it would have been like someone completely unqualified was editing those films.
They're outside the nuns. They're outside the nunnery. And they go. We've got to go out and see the penguin. Yeah. Do you remember that bit? He just got him out of prison, and he drives him straight to see the nun. And he's like, I don't want to go. I've got to go see it. He goes, you've got to go see the nun. And he goes, no fucking way. And I remember I watched that film 30 times before, and it was like, I think he says, I can't remember how they edited, but I remember it was weird. Just accepted edits. I don't know if we should accept edits back then.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
If you think about it, that's a kind of... Yeah, you sort of didn't realise it. It would just have a big chunk of dialogue cut out.
Yeah.
But Blues Brothers was a good film. I like Blues Brothers. I like Rollerball, First Blood. Blade Runner I watched a lot, actually. Just because I had it. Back then, if you had it on VHS, you'd watch it. I mean, I've recorded it somewhere. It wasn't really my thing, but I had it. My dad used to get pirate videos as well. That was always exciting.
Yeah, we had a bloke come round with a ball. Like, he opened up this, like it was like a wallpaper pasting table, but when you opened it up, it was full of videos.
Yeah.
And then he'd and got some in the car if you need them.
I remember watching E.T. That was the big one everyone couldn't wait to watch. And I watched it and I was like, this is fucking E.T.'s shit, innit? E.T.'s like proper twee. E.T.'s like a sort of schmaltzy. It weren't for me. I liked First Blood and things like E.T. was like, I don't know. I don't know. Didn't like it.
It's weird because I did
I
like.
don't think it's a good film.
I loved. My dad just let me watch all sorts. First Blood, like you say, and
I
Blues
watched
Brothers.
everything,
But
Alien, The Thing.
I
American
remember
Werewolf in
watching
London.
and loving some terrible films like Cocoon and Batteries Not Included. I think they were dog shit, but I remember watching it.
The only good thing in that is there was the big boxer guy who was all broken, and then he punches someone. Do you remember?
No.
There was a big black guy, and he was like a almost made it heavyweight champion. He lived in one of the houses in that sort of like apartment block, and he's very broken and sort of like demure and kind of like within himself. And then he punches someone at the end, and it's like, yeah, a bit like when the chief, a bit like when the chief
smashes
throws
the place up.
Water fountain in through the window. Yeah, at the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That is such a rousing moment for me. The kind of sleeping giant that sort of wakes up. Yeah. So that gets me every time. That is lump in the throat shit for me.
You got to do that. You got to rise up. You're a little sleeping giant, aren't you?
I've got a little sleeping giant.
Vanilla Sky fell asleep in the cinema and woke
up.
Little
sleeping dwarf.
Just woke up as little Tommy Cruise was being told it was all a dream. How can you get away with ending a film like with a primary school English assignment? Yeah, I turned that DVD off. That's when I started off.
Yeah, Vanilla Sky's bad. Vanilla Sky's bad. Well done, whoever said that. That is bad. That is exactly one of them films where you watch it. I think that is that a comment about when we said you watch them films and there's like an anti-punchline at the end.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, Vanilla Sky's like that.
ITVX has.
But can I say about Vanilla Sky? Cameron Diaz playing the crazy, clingy love interest was very, very bang on and scary.
I don't remember it.
Do you remember that?
I think I stopped watching it. What's Magnolia? That was another
Diaz,
one, wasn't it?
She stalked.
Vanilla
Yeah,
Sky
Magnolia was better. Magnolia's the one where it starts raining frogs. No. Vanilla Sky is, and she picks him up. She starts driving and she crashes the car on purpose. She's like a femme fatale, like I guess you'd say. But it was quite unnerving.
Right, let's go over
the Cameron Diaz part.
Let's go to another horror film. Your internet signal has suddenly got a bit choppy, but I don't know. We can.
Is it me? I'm sorry.
Mine's perfect, obviously, but let's go for another. Oh, there you are. Let's go for another horror film, shall we? And remember, if you're watching this and you haven't followed, just follow. Make a little follow. Do that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And then you can hear my little daughter's voice, if that's what you want to do. I think I'm going to have to pay her because she did some voiceover work. Are you ready for your next one?
You're in
cash.
Yes.
Here we go. Here is the next horror film. Bride of Place. I mean, it's a play on words.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
A Bride of Place. Because Pride of Place
is a brilliant title. Trying to think of the plot, but that actually sounds like it could be a film.
It does work. It really works. Bride of Place. It does sound like a 90s sort of early 2000s romantic comedy, but you can have. It doesn't have to be horror. It's come up.
What does Pride of Place?
You're putting it front and centre.
Yeah, front and centre.
So
I think this is about
It doesn't have to be horror. You working
class. Oh, Bride of Place. Is this a horror one?
Yes, in the horror section.
That's Bride of Chucky. Bride of Chucky and something Place. What would I don't know.
It doesn't have to be.
Oh, okay.
You do what you want. Whatever comes into your head, that's the truth. It's your truth here, so you do whatever. Pride of Place.
Like, I like a challenge. I'm going to do a horror film called Bride of Place, and the concept is going to be based on Pride of Place. Now, there is a man, a very bad man, and he is a polygamist. And he marries women, and he's got lots of wives. And when he marries them, first night, he fucks the shit out of them. Then he murders them. Then he embalms them, and he keeps them in a museum.
Oh,
and he's
God.
got one cabinet. He's got one cabinet in the museum where he wants to put the best woman he's ever married in.
So he's
Pride
not
of
found her
place.
yet. He's
And
not found her. He's like,
no, he's looking for her. And then he's a very good-looking man with a very good weapon on him. Big old piece. You know what I'm saying? Baby Bird's got a big old beak. And he goes on a reality show like The Bachelor, and no one knows. And it's like, no, he sets up he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire psycho. And he sets up like a show like The Bachelor or Love Island. And he pretends to these women that he's got all this. He takes them on a yacht or wherever, and he's got this like and he pretends he's got all these cameras and this elaborate set, and they're all vying for his affections, and he's looking for his bride of place. But little do they know that when they get eliminated from the show, they are eliminated from life.
do the
And it's
TV
a reality
producers
TV
know,
show
or-
like The Bachelor. No, there's no TV producers. There's no TV producers. They all get these mysterious invitations, and they get flown out to this island, and it's all like, oh, it's all done now. It's remote and mechanic, and you're filmed by drones. And now and then they look up, and they do see a drone with a little camera, but it's all done by him, and it's all done by his automated system.
He's murdering them all.
And when they're bride of place, and it's an elimination. I scratched. I want to remove the first thing I said. He hasn't done it yet, but it's a bit like Hunger Games, but it's this maniac Jeff Bezos type bloke what's got weird about planting his seed, and he's got all these supermodels, and he gets them all bitching and fighting, but then they realise, and then they all band together, and it's a little bit like Escape from New York, but it's Escape from. Basically, if I had to in a tagline, if I had to, the elevator pitch as they call it, it would be Escape from The Bachelor. That's what it becomes. And Bride of Place is he's eliminating these women, and the last
thing Justin said was that as he froze. What happened to Justin? We'll never know. Or will he come back?
What do you mean?
Oh, you froze there, briefly. You're back. It was so good for so long, and I did big up how good everyone's internet connection was going to be. I feel like I caused this to happen. There you are. I can see you move. Can see your eyes moving now. You're all right. You're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it's just a bit choppy. That's fine.
Oh, that was the best one of all of them.
No, it was good. It was good until you went. And
How
then
much did you miss?
You went, and then the last thing, and then it stopped.
Oh, well, that's that. Bride of Place, that's good. That makes sense.
So is he killing all of them, or is it like one person he's trying to kill? Does he kill them all, other than one?
The ones that don't make it just get offed.
Yeah,
but the one that he wants.
So, so is there a group of women that are the hero? Because obviously he's got to die in the film, as that's how films work. But
no, he wins.
He wins.
Like the last scene is him just hammering. Yeah, is him just hammering her. Like he gives her some sort of drug, and she's like just forever getting hammered by him.
No one wins. The bad guy never wins.
Well, this is my film. And if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. This isn't called I'd watch that. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to watch it. It's like a perpetual Cosby. She's just like a mannequin getting smashed.
Fucking hell. Who's in it?
Whoever.
Who's in it?
The man. Well, who's the baddie?
So Tom says this sounds like an 80s Peter Jackson horror film. Think Braindead or Bad Taste. And The Real King Doom says this is very close to The Legend of Bluebeard. Never heard of that. Have you ever heard of The Legend of Bluebeard? I think he's a pirate.
No,
isn't he?
You know the thing. You know the trouble with doing anything.
No,
like
yeah, I shouldn't read them out. To be fair, if people are saying it's like
no. Now let me just say, you're a bloke.
I am.
And I'm a bloke. Right, we're just two blokes talking. That is our thing. You could have, say, you had 30 people in the chat, and they say something about irons, And I go, oh, yeah, you got this steam iron. And one bloke in the chat knows loads about irons. And he pipes up and goes, yeah, talking about irons. That's not how irons work. And you think, oh, I don't know everything. You just that happens to be something you know about. I'm not thick.
Have you only just
I just don't know everything about everything.
What internet chats are in any situation.
Yeah, but it's like they go, oh, actually, it's the thing. They go to me, oh, I'm a scientist. The world is round. And I go, yeah, but you don't know it's round. You just believe. I don't believe the same people that tell you it's round. You believe them. I don't believe them.
So
Tom I just don't believe what you
if
believe.
That bad guy never wins, how do we have 10 Saw films? I mean, good point, Tom.
Yeah.
Very good
point.
No,
but it's not just that. It's just she is like locked in syndrome.
Oh, no, I thought she was
so
dead.
She never starves.
She's not dead.
No, she's no.
Oh, God.
She won. This is the thing. They don't know what they don't know what the prize is, so they're all competing not to get eliminated, but not getting eliminated is worse. So it turns out she gets like this. Turns out she gets put in the missionary position.
Oh, stop it.
On a drip, and then we get hard. And then he's just like banging away forever whenever he feels like it. God, whoever wants to have a go, come in.
So dark.
And what is that? Is it dark? What is that if it's not just a comment on the patriarchy?
And did the other people die? Can we just clear up whether they die?
Yeah, they're all dead. But dead. But to die is better than to be the bride of place.
I mean, there you go. There's the poster.
I mean, you did say it was a horror film.
What's going on with that finger there?
That's quite horrific, isn't it?
I like the one with the two faces because it sort of makes you think, look, there she is as a supermodel and there she is as the sort of zombie bride, really.
Yeah, and it's a bit like Hunger Games, but where you don't want to win, but you don't know you don't want to win until you've won and then it's too late.
Oh, so weird.
And actually, she has to do some quite ruthless things. So by the time she does win and get not comeuppance because no one deserves this, her fate worse than death. It's kind of like, yeah, you earned this, but you earned this. She's horrible. The sharpest elbows.
Yeah, you have to have that. I think for the film to work, they've got to be horrible.
Now that is an allegory for life, isn't it? If you want to climb to the top of that greasy pole, you've got to live with that. And when you close your eyes and put your head on the pillow, you will feel bad about the people you off to get there. And you're laying in bed, perpetually kept alive.
I'm thinking, what about if the others aren't killed? They are
just getting fucked.
What about if they are dumped off the island?
They're definitely killed.
Oh, they're killed. Okay, that's fine.
They're dumped off the island into the sea and eaten by wild animals, which is natural and nice compared to the
tigers.
Well, a shark is a wild animal.
No.
Why is a shark not? Is a shark not a wild animal? There's no shark in captivity, is there?
No, they're not wild animals. I think it's quite a shallow sea, and it's all lions.
Brav. Listen, this is going so deep. So instead of just succumbing to nature and dying a natural death, to elevate yourself, to finagle and be a politician and Machiavellian and evil, and and it gets more devious as it goes on. There's little puzzles, a bit like escape rooms, where she has to, and she gets rid of them all, and she is the most dastardly of the group that have been took there against their will, which we all are against.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, her fate is perpetually kept alive, motionless, can't move, just completely used by the system and just fucked. And that is an allegory.
Everything's an allegory. This is brilliant.
I can't help it.
No, it's great.
I can't
Absolutely brilliant.
I don't know if it is or not. I can't. My brain only works in that way.
Last film. We're going to do your last film. It's going to be an action film. And
action film.
Are you ready for your final film of the evening? And listeners and viewers, remember, please follow if you can. I mean, it's free. Just follow. There's going to be more of these. I think this is Series 2, Episode 1. I think so.
Why's my internet gone?
I don't know why your internet's going bad. I can hear you just about, yeah. But it was so good for so long.
Fucking annoying him.
You get very annoyed by your internet, didn't you?
I haven't moved. You can see I haven't moved.
I'm not blaming you. It's fine. It's Sunday. Maybe it's gone into...
No. Oh, yeah, Sunday mode.
Sunday mode. Here we go. Here's your last film. Wick Recall. So that's obviously John Wick and Total Recall, I should imagine, is where that's come from. Wick
Probably.
Recall.
Can Rick Recall be the lead actor?
Yeah, it can, yeah. But now you've got to work back from that and make this a film. What you've done there.
Rick Recall is like Jerry Maguire.
Rick
Yeah, Rick Recall is Rick's Winkle. It's about status quo.
Oh yeah,
and Rick Parfitt's groupies. No, Wick Recall. Yeah, I know a bloke who used to do karaoke. He hung himself. He used to run a karaoke outfit.
This sounds like it's
Nobby's Karaoke in Norfolk. No, it's not. Nobby's Karaoke, a bloke in Norfolk, and he was a big status quo fan. And he went and saw him at King's Lynn, wherever. And Rick Parfitt, the blonde one, who's now dead, he offered Rick Parfitt his girlfriend. Nobby did from Nobby's Karaoke. And Rick Parfitt fucked his girlfriend, and that Nobby from Nobby's Karaoke watched him fuck her because he was that much of a status quo fan. And he was like low-level Newham. And then they done his head, and he killed himself, and it was in the paper.
And is this the story of that?
What? Are you laughing? No, it's just that's just a story from my life. That's not funny.
I thought this was going to be like an expose on Rick Parfitt and Francis Rossi.
Oh yeah, he fucked Nobby's Karaoke.
Poor old.
I don't know his name, Bobby. So he handed over his or maybe one Rick Parfitt and watched. I couldn't get over it. He killed himself. So cool. I think this is deception.
Why is the signal?
It's about a candle burning backwards somehow.
Oh,
hang on, I'm going to put you on mute.
How's that going to help? Oh, because he's shouting. There he is, he's shouting, the viewer.
Yeah, my girlfriend's downloading child pornography, she said.
No, don't say that, for God's sake. That's my agent you're talking about. Don't besmirch my agent. I don't know if you're just stony-faced or whether you're frozen now. That's the other thing. You could just be stony-faced. Well...
Can you hear me now?
You're back. There you go. Don't besmirch my agent.
Isn't it strange how, like, I hope the listeners can see what we go through. You're in your studio. I'm in my studio. It's been fine for however long, and then it just starts going like this. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's insane,
basically
isn't it?
Let us have an hour and a half, and then it's like, nah. Well, it probably let us have an hour and 20 minutes. It's like, nah.
Wick Recall is a bit like Inception. It's a time travel, reality bending show, film, sorry. And the candle starts burning back. It's about getting... There's the candle, and he looks at it, and it's burning up. The candle, as it's burning, is getting longer because he's going back in time.
But
he's got to go back and solve some sort of bullshit. But time is recalling the wick of the fucking candle.
And is his name Rick?
No, the actor is Wick Winkle.
Well,
Rick Winkle.
What I'm going to say is the signal has gone to absolute toilet. We've had a blessed hour and a half. I love that it's frozen at this point for Justin. He's now we're getting like one frame every 30 seconds or so. You've been brilliant, Justin. I don't think we need to battle through any longer. The listener, the viewer, they're not going to enjoy this. I'll trim off the end for the pod and we'll put it out as a podcast. Thank you very much. A brilliant guest as always. I loved the Disney one. Long Dragon, I think, is probably my favourite. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Justin has definitely frozen there. Here's the movie poster for Wick Recall. Never really found out too much about it. There you go. He's looking at a candle burning backwards. Thank you very much, Tom. Loved it, gents. Great fun. Can't wait for more of the series. There's going to be more. Got some more people lined up. Going to try and do them. It may be Sunday, then Monday the following week, Sunday, then Monday the following week, just because that's how my schedule works at the moment. Everyone who's watched, thank you so much. I'll be back. I'm going to be streaming again this week, definitely. I streamed the other day, and it was literally just me deleting Twitter ads. So that was great. Come and watch that again. We had loads of people watching. It was really nice. About 25 to 30 people just sitting there, deleting ads, talking about it. Really very much enjoyed it. Thank you. That has been another episode of I've Watched That. I hope you could possibly say that some of them you would have watched. And if you're interested in seeing more of Justin, he's a stand-up comedian. Go and find him. He's one of the best there is. And he also does a podcast with me called Pranks and Firth. It's free every Monday, wherever you get your podcast from. And if you want to become a patron, you get an extra podcast on a Wednesday and a Friday. So what more can you want? We basically record a podcast almost every day. So there's a lot of content. And if you enjoyed him there, you'll enjoy him on that. Thank you very much. See you next week, I hope. Cheers.